Hey, what's up? This is Damien from Angelwolf Studios, and this video I wanted to talk about what's coming up in the future and give you an update on what's been going on. So it's been a while since I put out an update in the first place, and since I think since the last time I put out an update, the world's pretty much turned upside down. With COVID-19, protesting, and then more protesting, and more protesting, and now more COVID. Can we start 2020 over? Is that even possible? Yeah, so I haven't even gone back to look at my other videos to see where I left off. I just figured I'll just give all the information here in this video. So, between the pandemic, protesting, and everything, the last few months have been very difficult for me. We'll start off with, I was trying to attempt a self-proclaimed world record of building tables on my own, as a single person, to build 3 tables in so much time. I got to about week 5, maybe week 6, and COVID just... So, with people not getting... with losing their jobs because of COVID, a lot of things have happened since then. So, I went into panic mode, as I do, and I stopped everything and tried to fix that. Starting off with putting out a Easter sale, which flopped. I mean, it happens, I guess. I mean, no, I can't even say it. It happens. Pandemic hasn't been around for 100 years or so. So, I guess now not even after, we're still in the whole thing. But as soon as this is all over, then I guess we could say it happens, but, So anyway, a lot of things have happened through that, where some places had to close down because they were non-essential. And then some of the places that were essential reduced their daily hours, reduced how many people work for them, and we started this whole social distancing thing. Now, some of the places where I get my supplies, they then changed their scheduling to the point where I was no longer able to get my supplies because the person that I usually have to help me with that, they don't have time until after the times that these places closed. So that's been a thing. Now that everything's starting to open up, I mean, it's getting better, but it's still limited. Then, of course, with the protesting, depending on where you go, it is got pretty dangerous to go out, not because of the protesting itself, but because of the looters, the rioters, and, of course, the police presence. Through all of that, I spent, personally, a month on crutches. Usually this is only a couple of days, or at most a week. I think the last time it happened was the last time was at most 2 weeks. But now it was a month where I was not able to stand up very long, even though I kept trying to do things. So, now, going back to the virus, I'm at high risk. I have asthma, and with me having asthma, they say I'm at high risk for catching the COVID disease. So, if I was able to, if I were to spread myself, if I were to keep contact with all of the same people, then there was a higher possibility of me getting it, because either um, like some of the people that I usually deal with either um, work around many people, or they don't have a choice not to be around many people. So um, so that made things harder. So like going to get lumber, even if I they were open at the times that I needed to, then I couldn't ask anybody to do it. So I had to restrict who I dealt with in the first place. Um, I am going to say that stimulus programs have been helping. I like everybody else. I got my stimulus check that helped keep me um, from getting homeless. Um, just like a lot of people, even though they have stopped or had stopped the process of evictions, I just wanted to make sure that I still had my rent paid, so that um, I don't lose the one thing that I need to keep working, which is a place to live. Um, then um, I usually put aside money for shipping, for packaging, for materials if I need anything extra, and so on and so on. Well, this whole closing everything down really knocked the wind out of my finances. To the point where even if I did have anything finished, I wouldn't be able to ship it. So my business has been closed since March. Um, what does that mean? Even though I have been trying my best to get people to order, nobody really had the money to order. And I can understand getting a brand new table for your home is not essential. My business, not essential. So the only thing I could do was close down, no longer accept any orders, even though none were coming in. Um, of course, if any were coming in, I would definitely take them. But at that point, none were coming in. So all I have to do is sit here and work on what I already have. Now, I had a lot of time where I needed to take care of paperwork, because it was one form after one application after the next application after another form, and copy this and fax that and do this and do that, and with that, on top of the feeling of I really don't want to be homeless, that put me into a state of mind that I'm not used to being in very often. But I was in panic mode, and depression set in. So there are some people have this thing they call spoons. I like to call them spell slots. And as most of you adventurers know, for who play role-playing games or D&D, you know what spell slots are. You know what happens if you do not have any spell slots. Then you need to rest in order to get them back. So, but when it comes to your mental health, it's more along the lines of, if you do not have any spoons left, all you want to do is sleep. All you want to do is stay in bed. And I do think I have the one person that I've been having contact with has been trying somewhat to help me stay on my feet. My son has also been helping as well. But then there are just some days that it's one of, you wake up and you're like, I just can't. You wake up, You get out of bed, and then you're like, I can't. I need to go back to bed. I really need to go back to bed. And that's what I did. So, but what I'm trying to do right now is I'm trying to just work off these last couple of things. There's no payment coming in for any of them. All of that money is gone. But thanks to the stimulus and everything, I should be able to have the money to ship them off when I need them, when I need to. So I'm not worried about that. And I basically, with this relaunch, I want to start off with a fresh new slate next month and start over, because I know having a fresh outlook, maybe outlook's the wrong word, having a clean slate would help me with my motivation on things. So, and I really need to reopen because, by the end of this month, there are a lot of the programs that have been around for the past couple of months is ending at the end of this month. So by the end of this month, I really do need to open up my business again. So that's what I'm doing now. I revisited my website. I took a couple of days and I made it look a little bit more professional. I didn't like the way it looked before, even though I created it. But I wasn't sure of all of the things that I could do. But then this time I sat down for a couple of days and worked that out. So now it looks a lot better, and things are a little bit more streamlined, so you can find everything easier. If you have any questions, please just use the form that's on my website. Ask me any of the questions, and if it's something that I get frequently, of course, it's going to wind up in the frequently asked questions section. So, also, I did also work on my Patreon, but I'll talk about that a little bit later because there's something special that I've thought of for that. Now, since last year, I've been tweaking things here and there, trying to come up with ways to do things faster or do things better. I've already gone through one redesign because I delivered a table to somebody or shipped a table to somebody and it broke in transit. So now I use crates for the transport, which I probably should have been using in the first place, but it just wasn't affordable at the time. But now it is, so it's okay. But I still went ahead and did a redesign anyway, just in case. Then I went over my methods, how I do things. Do I really need to be doing this, or should I be doing this instead? And then working on the process on itself, what needs to be done first, what needs to be done next, what is the last thing that needs to be done, things like that. And I think now I have it set to where everything is locked down, and I know what I'm not know what I'm doing, but I know the process that I'm going to be using to do everything. Hence why I attempted to make the world record attempt of making so many tables in one day by myself. Also, a lot of these things that I've been thinking of, working on, signing up for, stuff like that, it's all so that if something just by the random freak of nature happens like this again, I won't be hit as hard when that time comes. So it's almost time, I consider it almost time for me to relaunch the business, because I have 31 days, 30 days, September, April, June, and November. Yes, 31 days. If you don't do that, when you're trying to figure out what how many days are in a month, then you're a nerd. But I love you anyway. So yeah, so that's why I've been working on my website, working on Patreon, working on my methods, just trying to reboot everything so that like I said, I have that clean fresh slate, and nothing can stop business and progress. So going forward, because I do work on Etsy, or my products are sold on Etsy, but I would rather them not be in the distant future. So from now on, any deals that I put out, any coupons, any sales, they will only be available on my website. So if you want to get any of those deals, head over to my website. They will be there, or you can go to my social media and I will have a link or a code or something for you to use when you check out. So, now, another thing that I've been working on, because like I said, I've been working on Patreon. Patreon is one of those websites that is like a crowdfunding website to support an artist long term. I'm an artist, I'm a maker, and the things that I do, I consider my art. So, I know there are people that have been wanting to support Angelwolf Studios in some way, shape, or form. So, there are two ways to do that. One, you could either go to my Teespring account, which is the link's in the description, and buy one of my t-shirts. I have a few designs. I'm planning on making more because, I mean, who doesn't want more t-shirts designs? The other way is Patreon, of course. Now, I have been struggling with Patreon for the longest time because I did not know what to offer you in return for your support. Now, I can give you my undying gratitude, but in the end, how much is that really worth? All right? I can extend sales for you, but how much is that really worth? All the way down the line. So what I've come up with, and I think because of the nature of my business, this is the best idea that I could come up with. And that is, when you sign up for certain tiers on my Patreon account, you will have the chance to join my Dice of the Month Club. Okay. If you're a Dice Goblin, your ears just perked up, you just heard what I said, Dice of the Month Club. Okay? Starting off with the $10 tier, for now, you will be getting a random set of dice with a dice bag. And the more people that want this, then I will open up the other tiers for people to upgrade to. But I will give you more information about that in another video. So I really want to make sure that the Dice Goblin and everybody is satisfied, because that is the best value that I can give you at this moment. So please feel free to support me either by buying a t-shirt or supporting me on Patreon. And then if you still want to, go ahead and order a table. Order if it's for somebody else, that's fine too. I can't gift wrap it, but I can make it to the specs that you would want, and I hope that you enjoy it when you get it, because that's what we're doing this for those smiles at the end. So, when is the relaunch? Again, the relaunch is going to be on the 1st of August. We're using this entire month to get back into the swing of things, get remotivated, get a clean slate, so that the 1st of August, we are there, or I am there for you. Because you are, of course, my most important, the most important thing to me at the moment. Getting things to you that are unique, that will help you increase or better your tabletop experience. All right. So, and at the same time, once the business is relaunched, that is also when the Dice of the Month Club will be available as well. Yes, if you go to the Patreon site right now, you will see it, but I suggest choose one of the lower tiers if you want to get on right now. This is a $1 tier, $5 tier. Get on one of those tiers right now, and starting August 1st, you can sign up for the $10 tier. You can upgrade to this $10 tier, or sign up for the $10 tier, or $10 tier fresh. And okay, more details about that, like I said, will be in another video. So here's to a relaunch.